Hi folks, I'm Florian from iProcess, and today we're talking about software branching strategy. There are many different approaches out there, and not each solution fits to each project or product. But let me share one that works well in an agile development environment with complex systems. Software development can become a fairly Wild West environment, especially in larger and more complex systems with multiple subsystems and components involved. Developers are on a very different basis of code. The structure of the repository can get nested, widespread, or just intertwined. Well, what looks like great freedom to the developer at first usually ends in a big headache when it comes to code merges, feature integration, and the release process. So how to keep your branching tree clutter-free? A format that has proven successful is the three-branch concept. It means that three active branches exist at any time. The first and lowest branch is the customer branch. This is your code on your product in your customer's hands, under their feet, or in their wall. This branch is stable, it has accumulated miles or hours in big numbers, and you understand its statistics and vulnerabilities well. It is important to underline that this branch is not open for any changes but hotfixes. Why is that? Well, when your product is in need of a hotfix, that usually means there is an external driver for this. Safety, security, or availability at large. It means there's a reason to get a change developed, integrated, tested, and rolled out quickly in order to reduce the risk of regression and unintended impact to the rest of the system. The goal must be to get as atomic as possible with these changes. Like this, the validation can concentrate on a singular feature scope backed by automated integration regression testing. No other commit or change will influence the risk analysis or timeline of the release. Next is the branch in the middle here. This is for validation purposes only. No feature commits are allowed. This branch represents your next scheduled release. Depending on your agile sprint duration, it could be under validation for 2, 3, or 4 weeks, or any other time agreed upon within your agile team. At the beginning of the sprint, this branch is getting locked for feature merges. Only bug fixes get approved. Some call this process baking or maturing. Here you give the validation crew time to find the issues and corner cases and the developers the opportunity to fix them. Both branches at the bottom should be under strict CCB control. So I see folks wondering where they're actually doing the feature development work. Well, as a matter of fact, it is not a branch up here either. This, let's call it development branch, is the merge target for features after they finish design, coding, and validation efforts. The actual feature work happens in these parallel feature branches. Like this, you can separate the efforts of different developers, and you make sure that no feature is mistakenly breaking other work that happens simultaneously, and it causing delay on that timeline. It is important that these feature branches are synchronized with the development branch so that developers are always working in the closest to the release environment. Another best practice is to allow these feature branches to go through system and vehicle regression tests regularly, way before they merge to the development branch, to iron out integration issues as early as possible. Some of these feature branches might be short-lived, a few days. Some might stick around much longer, many months. Without the aforementioned synchronization and regression testing, a merge after 6 months is an almost guaranteed painful exercise. Every time a sprint comes to the release, the entire system ratchets up. The validation branch becomes a customer branch, the development branch is now the validation branch, and the feature branches are moving up altogether to the newly created development branch. Of course, the real world is not as easy as this example. Customers are likely spread over several past branches, and there might be a little more variation in the tree. But the closer you get to the ideal three-branch concept, the easier your life will be.